Hey, it's Phoenix, and welcome to the L2R podcast, a podcast devoted to the motorcycle community, one that you and I are proudly a part of. Well, my guest is Ashlee Atkin. This young lady is one of the co-founders of One Broken Biker, a fantastic organization. We'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about something they're doing that's really unique. It's a virtual bike night. I know. My conversation with Ashlee Atkin on the L2R podcast. We're talking in late May. Have you had a chance to get out and ride?
I have a little bit. I've only probably put about 700 kilometers on, so it's not too bad. Just a couple rides. I don't really like riding really early, just because of the gravel and the roads, and I get a little bit of, I'm just anxious, all the accidents, and there's already been a ton of accidents, so it's just very cautious. I guess I'm always cautious when I'm riding, but it's just the beginning.
Okay, can we talk about that? Why are there so many accidents as of late? And I agree with you. I don't know, it seems like every day I am turning on some news source somewhere, and there is some indication that somebody has done something to get themselves in an accident, or somebody has hit them. What's happening, Ashlee? Are you noticing a difference this year?
You know what? I've been dealing with injured riders for this. We're just going on my 9th year. And I can say that the last 3 years is where we can really track it, because we've expanded and we've got the following and really part of the community and seeing more of the accidents. And it's interesting because 2 years ago, it was all these multiple left-hand turns all the time.
You're right.
Last year, I think it was last year, there was so many fatalities at the beginning of the year, a lot in the Edmonton area. And what we were finding is a lot of them were rider error. And I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them were. And then this year, it's gravel. It's one thing after another. So it's just interesting how each year it's kind of like a new theme, or whatever you want to call it. I try to figure out and I try to understand how these accidents are happening, what we're doing, because I always like to look at it like an accident can always be avoided, always, and depending on what can we be doing different?
Mm-hmm.
There's people on the roads, and you can't control what that person's doing, but you can control what you're doing.
Well, I don't know about you, but one thing I'm finding too is that whenever we see or hear of an accident, we never hear why the accident actually occurred. There's a delay in time, or that information just doesn't get out, or maybe it's not made available. But between you and me, who are avid riders, that's information that is extremely valuable, so that going forward, we can address that if we're influencers in the motorcycle market. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I would 100% agree. A lot of our accidents, and I hate saying this, but it's the truth. And we have facts, because One Broken Biker deals with injured riders all the time. Yeah. But the facts are, a lot of our accidents are rider error. Single vehicle accidents. I'm not saying all of them, but a huge amount of them. I would say about 70% of them are something that the rider has done to put them in that situation. And I don't know how to make that. I don't know how we can get better at it.
Well, this is interesting though. Why would you say, before you said what you just said, you said, I don't know if I really want to say this, or I'm not sure I want to even mention this?
Because I get a bad flack, because people, they don't want to hear it.
But the facts are facts, Ashlee.
I know, but I know, it's just because I don't want to have to deal with the aftermath of the riders being like, you hate riders, or you're not, pro rider. And it's like, I am nothing but pro riding and nothing but for these riders. But a lot of the accidents we're seeing, rider error. And you're right, facts are facts, but I've said it before, and I said it on a news prompt, and I got a whole bunch of flack for it. And it's just me stating I have numbers. That's what I'm going off of, but I don't want to have to try and defend what I'm saying. So I just stay quiet.
Let me just say that you have an advocate in me as well, too, because I completely agree with what you're saying. And I've said it for the longest time as well, that we tend to jump to a conclusion, a very fast conclusion, that it was the cager, if you will, somebody other than the motorcyclist that was at fault. And that's an uninformed person for the most part. And I agree with you. I've seen these facts. I've seen these statistics, even the most recent ones, and they point to rider error. And as soon as we can address that and just take a deep breath and say, okay, let's suck it up, let's deal with it, and let's move forward. And instead of trying to protect ourselves, that protection part has got to get out of there. We've got to realize that facts are facts.
Yeah.
Regardless how an accident happens, it grabs our attention. It's scary. And I don't doubt for a moment that when something like this happens, one broken biker is just waiting for that phone call.
They always are. It's just the way it is. It's every time I open my Facebook, and I love riding, and it is more than a passion to me. It's a love. I don't want to say it's a relationship that I have with me and my motorcycle. I'm assuming you can relate to that. But yeah, but each year that goes by, it gets harder to ride. And somebody asked me that yesterday, just about it. And I just said, there was an accident recently and it was caught on video camera, and the two riders, that has shaken me to the core. Like, it's just, you can't, like I said, I can only control what I do. I can't control what other people do, but I just would be devastated if something like that happened. I just don't want it.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that accident. I know which one you're talking about, the one on Deerfoot Trail in Calgary, and it was frightening. It was scary. But what was even scarier though, and I take you back to 2012 before you formed One Broken Biker, someone who was not totally up to speed with One Broken Biker. Just give us the lowdown. What happened first of all, back in 2012, and where you are today.
Yeah, so my dad was in a motorcycle accident on Deerfoot Trail. And from that accident, I realized I was with him on my own bike behind him. And from the time the accident happened to the time in the hospital, to the aftermath, to the recovery, to now, it cost a lot of money and a lot of resources, and just to deal with what had happened. So we formed an organization called One Broken Biker. It's Canada-wide. We help anybody in Canada. And we are just there to help on a financial, emotional, compassionate way when a rider goes down. And a lot of the times we deal with the family, because they're the ones that the rider has insurance and the rider is in the hospital and he's being taken care of, but it's the family that is just, they're at loss. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to call or how. So we just I'm not saying that we are there to change everything for them, but we are there to just say, hey, we've been here. This is kind of what we've done. And we give a little bit of a financial relief for the family. The organization's grown huge. Like, it's just amazing. Last year we helped 105 riders, donated $80,000 out. And then this year we're at 13 injured riders right now. Which is not a number that we ever want to brag, but it just shows how the community has come together with the organization. And we made it so that we wanted to be Canada-wide. We don't do fundraising in each province. We try to, but we can only do what we can do. But we sell memberships, and the memberships are Canada-wide, and it's a huge way of raising our funds for the riders.
And one other thing that you do provide as well is, and I don't doubt this for a moment, is the emotional support.
I think that's probably the best part of it. And, just knowing, being somebody that's been in an accident, or not in an accident, seen an accident. So I felt injured because I was mentally thrown off, and it was a huge struggle for me. So I could relate to people with what they're going through. And then everybody that's a part of our organization has some sort of tie with an injured rider, or they've been injured themselves. So it's just a big community of, we've got support behind us, and we can support the riders.
You've got amazing support, and you are spearheading this. You and your dad, Glenn, who's still very involved with this as well, and
He
some
is,
other.
sorry, he has resigned from the organization.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
that. Okay.
No, it's all good. It's not a huge like public thing that we're gonna blast all over, but yeah, it's just it happens with organizations, and sometimes I wanna, I have my moments, and yeah, the organization, I guess, every couple of years kind of takes a flip and changes, and which is great because then we get new blood in and new ideas and new thoughts. My dad will always be a part of the organization.
Good.
And that is what it is, right? This was started off of me dealing with that situation and what has happened with that. So he'll always be, it's family, right?
Okay.
So,
Okay. What is
but
family?
yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Good. Good.
Mhm.
Well, please, next time you see him, just pass on a hello from me.
Absolutely.
One thing that you do very, very well too is you mentioned fundraisers, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to call you, obviously, to talk about what has been happening recently with the recent accidents, but also your bike nights. Bike nights are so fantastic in the sense that they really bring people together. You grab something to eat, you have some great conversation, and you're all there supporting a wonderful cause. Explain before COVID-19 what bike nights were all about.
Oh, I love bike nights. So we would meet every Wednesday in Calgary, and then we would do once a month in Edmonton. And we'd all just get together, and each week we have a new sponsor, depending on if it's another organization to help promote them or a company. And then they would sponsor, and they would just give us a bunch of swag. And anybody that came into the restaurant, Big Sky Barbecue is the one in Calgary, would get a ticket, and then at 7:30 we would draw ticket numbers, and we would just give away stuff. And it was just a way of like, injured riders can come, our members can come, any organization, any bike group, bike club, we don't care, just come be a part of it. It's more
Mm-hmm.
of bringing the community together. And like I said, we just want anybody that rides two wheels or not, you don't even need to, we've got a family that they don't ride, and they're there every single week supporting our
Wow.
organization. So
Yeah.
but now it's different.
So now it's different. So fast forward, here we are. Now we're into May of 2020, and COVID-19 is still on the tip of our tongues, and it'll probably be there for a while. And having said that, you sat down, I'm guessing, with your board and said, hey, wait a minute, we can't have bike nights, or what would those look like? You decided to do something virtual. So take us down that
Yeah.
path.
So it's interesting. So Grover Law Firm is OBB's like biggest sponsor, and
Great sponsor.
yeah, and they're huge in the biking community in Calgary. But Steve Grover actually approached us about it and said, "Why don't you guys do a virtual bike night?" And
Love
I
it.
was just hummed and hawed, and then we talked about it with the board, and then we came up with this whole idea. And he donates $500 in gift cards each week, and each week we do a new theme and get submissions on Facebook and give away money.
And that's basically what you do. So walk us through this. So every week you personally post a video saying, hi, it's Ashlee and this week's theme. Again, just walk us through how this thing
Yeah.
works. It's fascinating.
So yeah, each week the board picks a location or a theme of the bike night. So
Some of
last
those themes, yeah.
yeah, so I think it was the first one we did, get a picture at Big Sky Barbecue or Blackjack's, because that's where we do our bike nights, just to hit it off. Go there, take a photo, best photo, be creative, do something fun. Best photo will win a $100 gift card. The next week we wanted a town sign or a city sign. And same thing, you submit your photo just by going to our One Broken Biker Bike Night page. And so this week we've got go to your favorite motorcycle shop, take a picture outside, post it on our page, and you're entered to win.
I love
And then
it.
every Wednesday at 6:30, I go live and we just give away the gift cards, and then I just mail them out, or let them come to my house and pick it up in the doorway.
So somebody posts their picture on your Facebook page, which is
Yeah.
One Broken Biker Bike Night,
Page. Yeah.
right? Then how do you determine the winner? Is it just a random draw?
So we've done it, kind of changed it up. Like last week was you had to get your friends to like your photo, and whoever had the most likes were entered to win. But then that just got confusing. The week before that, we just randomly picked it, like the best like submission. So we had one girl, she laid across the table, and then she had her motorcycle there, and she had a mask. She made a mask for her motorcycle and put like plastic rubber gloves on her motorcycle. So
Oh
it was really
my.
funny. So she won. And then this week we have our board is all going to pick one of their favorites. So we just try to change it up. Maybe the following week we'll get Grover Law Firm, get them to pick the photos. So it's always different.
And it's a lot of fun. I mean, you're getting great response to this. I see the participation. I see the photos. Some people are very creative. Some people have, I don't know if there's been any videos, but it's really fun just to be.
That's a smart idea. We'll do videos next time.
There you go. It's my idea. I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is there's still a chance for everybody to still be in that community, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And people still feel that they're part of something. So kudos to you and your team, Ashlee. Just great idea.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we just wanted to keep the community going, and Grover Law Firm, they're always down to help and support the organization. So we were happy to take it and create something and just see where it goes with it.
Yeah. How are you doing through this pandemic, by the way?
I love it. Not,
Pardon?
that's so bad to say. I love it because it's just slowed everything down. And I'm usually like mile a minute. Every day is something new, and I'm sad that we're not at all the events and we're not hosting our events. And, but it's just really slowed me down, and it's allowed me to work on YouTube and different forms of marketing. And we literally just like with, at work, we just wiped our budget for the marketing and we just redid it. And we're just trying to kind of go with it. And
Right.
And I'm working fully from home now, which is great. It has its ups and downs, but
Of course.
yeah, it's been a good time. Like I obviously I'm a little annoyed, you can't go out and you can't do things, but I'm saving money. So
How do you see, and I'll leave you with this, how do you see the motorcycle community going forward and having to deal with pandemics? Because no longer can we do bike nights. No longer can we do these poker nights or whatnot. What do you think? Where are things going? Do you believe?
I think that eventually, like by next summer, we'll be able to socialize again the way that we wanted to. I'm hoping, like
Next summer, not
next
this
summer.
summer.
I really don't. That's just my opinion, and I'm not speaking for anything, but our organization wants to keep our group safe, so we're not going to be doing anything. But I just think it's hard to keep bikers away from each other. That's the problem. Like, we're all friendly, we're all, hugs. You haven't seen each other all winter, but yeah, we're just going to keep kicking it with the virtual side, and then just seeing what we can end up doing. Hopefully by September we can host an event, but I just really don't even know. It's difficult, but it's allowing people to, like, I've been riding with I posted on Facebook, anybody riding, trying to get out there and just meet new riders, but in smaller groups, and still keep that distance. But I'm just still trying to be as social as I usually am. Right.
Good. Well, that's what we have, social media. So you're doing the right thing, and your gang at One Broken Biker is doing the right thing too. Again, I forward everybody to the Facebook page, One Broken Biker, or also check out the One Broken Biker Bike Night to find out more about this Wednesday night virtual bike night, which is, again, brilliant idea, Ashlee. Give you kudos.
Thanks.
It's always wonderful to talk to you. Be safe, and I do hope to see you down the road sometime soon.
Yeah, we should go riding soon.